Hey everyone, welcome back. This is going to be the first operation for the stem part. So let's go ahead and grab that model, the stem. Alright, so this is our stem. This side here goes through our wedge part, and the knurled knob slides over this diameter, clamps on with a set screw, and then over here we have some threads for our fine adjustment. So we'll go ahead and get started. Go ahead and bring in our lathe machine. So machine, lathe, default. Then we're going to align the part to the Z. That's going to be model prep, and align to Z. So align to Z, and then we don't want to create a coordinate system. We want to go to our top plane. So we'll click on transform to plane, and then this guy over here, this little button, will allow us to select a plane from our list. We select top, screen check, and then here, body to move, we have to click on our model, and that's it, screen check. Alright, so now we have the model oriented properly. We can go ahead and set up our stock and our lathe jaws. So in properties, I'm going to go to stock setup, stock properties. I'm going to start off with a 5/8 diameter rod, and I'll put 4 inches in for the length. And then I'll use margins, and I'll put 10 thousandths on the right to face. And that'll be good for that. Might notice it's a little larger stock than we would really need for this part, but since we use 5/8 for the other part, it's just easy to buy the same size, and then we don't have issues with it, the length of it being too long and having pressure issues. So 5/8 diameter. Alright, so green check on that. Set up the chuck jaws. So chuck jaw properties, click over here on parameters. From stock, grip on max diameter, grip length be 2 inches, and green check on that, green check on that, and there we go. So first operation is pretty simple. We're going to rough this out, take it all the way back here, past the end of the part, then we'll finish it, these 2 diameters, part it off. So before we create some tool paths, I think I'm gonna add some chamfers on here, since we don't want to end up with those sharp edges. We don't want to have to deburr it by hand. So solids, I'll go to my solids tab, and I'm going to select a 1 distance chamfer. Alright, tells me to select the entity, so I want to select this edge here, and this edge here. Green check. And default distance is 100 thousandths. Obviously, we don't want that big of a chamfer, so we'll put in 20 thousandths. Still a little big, so let's go with 10 thousandths. Okay, so 10 thousandths looks pretty good. I'll green check that. Then I'm going to go ahead and create my wireframe turning profile. So I'll go to the wireframe tab, and I'm going to select turn profile. Okay, it tells me to select solid bodies or surfaces, so I'll click on my solid body, and selection, and green check. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this line all the way back to the end of the part and a little bit past. So I'm going to trim. So I'll say trim this guy to this guy, like that. And I'll say green check. And I will actually get rid of these because I don't need them. Get rid of those wireframe entities, not needed. And then I'm going to go ahead and extend this out, and this is going to be for later on so that our part off tool doesn't have to cut off the whole diameter. It can just start from there. So that's going to be over here, still on the wireframe tab. It's going to be modify length. Okay, I'm going to choose lengthen, and I'm going to choose 200 thousandths. Green check. Oh no, sorry. I have to select the entity. All right, remember we want to select the entity on the side that we want to lengthen or shorten. Okay, so be over here on this left side so that it'll extend out this way, just like that. And green check. Now we're ready for toolpaths. So first and foremost, facing. And we're using this tool 1. I'll use 5 thousandths feed rate, 200 spindle speed, and 2000 for the max. Double check my coolant is on. For my face parameters, I'm going to give it an overcut amount, 32 thousandths, and green check. All right, now rough. All right, so I'm going to select my chain. Since I got rid of those extra entities and all that, everything's nice and clean. Oh no, I'm sorry, I still have this one, don't I? So we'll leave it here. Need to select this one for the beginning and this one for the end. Just like that. Green check. Same tool. Go with the same feed rate, spindle speed, and max spindle speed of 2000. Okay. Again, coolant is on. For my parameters, I'm going to give it a 25 thousandths depth of cut. Stock to leave-in X is going to be 5 thousandths. Stock to leave-in Z is going to be 2 thousandths. And I don't have to go and mess around with my lead in, lead out, extend it, or anything like that because I did it with the geometry. Okay, for the stock recognition, we're going to go ahead and use stock for outer boundary. and green check. Okay. Now we can finish it. So finish toolpath, and I'm going to use right here the last selection option. So I'm choosing the same geometry as last toolpath. This time I need to find my finishing tool. It's going to be right here, 2121. And we'll change that, of course, to tool number 2. So that's what it is in our machine. Alright. Feed rate's good. 5 thousandths, 200 spindle speed, and max of 2000. Same. And finish parameters. Don't need to mess with anything in here. So green check. We'll go ahead and select all toolpaths and then hide the toolpath lines. And last thing for this operation is going to be to part it off. So we will select cutoff. And it's going to ask us for select cutoff boundary point. So we'll choose right here, the end of the line. Feed rate, I'll go with 1.5 thousandths. Spindle speed 200 and max spindle speed of 500. Okay, tool is going to be 4444. And we change that to tool 12. That's what it is in our machine. Coolant is on. And then for cutoff parameters, we're going to want front radius. Let's see. Everything here looks fine. Let's hit the green check. See what we get. I'm going to do a back plot. See where it's sending the tool exactly. Okay, so it's sending it out there. Okay. So what we want to do is go back into our parameters. And for back face stock, I'm going to go minus 200 thousandths. Sorry, minus 190 thousandths. Green check. Regenerate. Now, watch our back plot. Now we're coming right down there, leaving a little bit of material on the end to face off on the next operation. Okay, so green check. And let's do a 3D verify real quick. Still leaving that part for us, huh? Rewind that. Slow it down a little bit. Alright. So there's OP1. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time.